All right, Nikki, we're going to take a look at your Boudoir Instagram ad here and basically, you know, name some things, go through some mistakes that are causing, not as many bookings to happen as you want, not really getting as many qualified people coming through as you want, qualified conversations. And the stuff I'm going to talk about today, I've actually already taken it with some other Boudoir ads, fixed the mistakes, implemented the changes, and I've been able to get an average of 2 to 4x more people engaging with consuming our ad and knowing we exist um, for the same ad spend. And so these people are also more specific, so generally they're going to be more qualified as well. So it will get 2 to 4x higher volume of peeps who are more specific at the same ad spend, which kind of if everything carries through the funnel, which is not guaranteed, but that could be 2 to 4x conversions for the same ad spend. So the first thing I look at with these ads is, does it look like an ad? When people are scrolling in their feed, does it look like an ad? Um, no, this looks like an organic post. I really just look at the photo here, making sure it doesn't have any text on it. No, this looks like an organic post, so that's good. Higher chance for people to then, read our see more headline up here. And the see more headline is where basically where 80% of ad spend is won or lost, kind of the words up here, because there'll actually be a dot 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 see more to click right there for them to read the rest of the ad copy. So let's see. Yeah, so the next 4 mistakes can happen here in the see more headline, where first we want to have a who label. Something, a label where someone reading it and they say, oh my God, that's me. And yeah, you got that, bride to be. Okay, we can add one more word to make this better, but all right, you got the who label. That's good. Most people don't have the who label, so we're talking to bride to be's, fiancés, whatever. Um, so that's good. So yeah, basically as women are scrolling their feed, they get here down their feed, which is when their subconscious actually registers kind of these first 2, 3/4, or 3 lines. So if they are a bride to be, then all right, this is going to hit for them. It's going to be relevant to them. So they're going to, more likely click see more and read our ad copy. So a higher chance we get better conversations, better qualified prospects, and better sales, more revenue. So that's good. The next thing we want to have is a negative. So what negative experience are women moving away from that our bridal boudoir session is the solution to, or kind of like the bridge to get them away from that negative situation? And we always, always, always lead with the negative because humans take action to get away from negative situations, aka get away from pain, literally 100x more than they take actions to move towards pleasure or towards something positive. Most people would rather kind of sit and do nothing. But if they're gonna move away from something painful so they can get back to doing nothing. I mean, think of the dentist. We go to the dentist, we got our 6 month teeth cleaning. We pay. Then the secretary ladies are like, hey, are y'all free, 178 days from now at 7:20 a.m. We're like, dude, I ain't got no clue, but yeah, text me and I'll figure out somewhere closer to that date. So they're texting us, month fifth, month 4, month 5 to get us set up for the 6 month checkup. We ignore. Then they're hitting us up month 8, month 9. We ignore. And then it's been a year, more than a year. that we haven't been to the dentist just because we're busy, and I guess, you know, I guess the slight positive, you know, positive um, of having teeth a little bit cleaner is not enough for us to take action from our normal day-to-day schedules. So we're kind of routine oriented. But, you know, month 15, 16, 17, then eventually we get tooth pain when we're eating every time we chew and we can't sleep. So we're finally calling up the dentist like, and I'm in pain, my tooth's really hurting. Can you guys get me in tomorrow? And they're like, no, you know, we can't. We're fully booked for the next 4 weeks. And you're like, what? How can you not get me in tomorrow? I am in super pain right now, and now I got to find another dentist. So find another dentist, get it fixed, back to normal. But it was the pain, the negative experience that finally got us to take an action to move out of the pain. But we did not want to take the action to move towards, the good, the positive, the pleasure. So moving away from the pain is always 100x more kind of reactive humans are to pain or negative experiences just to get back to baseline. So that's why I always lead with a negative. Yes, we're missing a negative here. So even if women are brides to be, or there's going to be a bunch slipping through the crack because bride to be is correct for them, but there's not enough extra specificity that's relevant to them to get them to come back up and read this. So yeah, basically less qualified people clicking through, less qualified people, conversations in the DMs, more ghosting, more price hunting, all that, you know, less bookings, less ROI from ads burning out faster, kind of all that stuff. The third thing that could happen in the Seymour headline is we want to have a positive. So what is something positive that women are saying in their brain that they want that our bridal boudoir session is the solution to? Something that they want in their life. And no, bridal boudoir session is not in itself a positive. It's not a negative, it's not positive, it's not a hesitation, it's not a who, it is a solution. So no, it's not a positive. Positive could be something like, I don't know, gift for husband, something like that. Um, give husband a great gift, something like that. So we're missing the positive. So we're missing negative, missing the positive. So we're missing that negative positive tension, that mental contrast. So we really lose a lot of attention here, even if they are brides to be. A lot are going to be scrolling by. So our ads are going to get worse results, and as a result, if we keep running it, Meta, Facebook, Instagram send our ad to worse quality prospects who convert at a lower rate, which kind of sends our ad into a downward spiral of despair that we cannot recover from. We'd have to start a new ad. And the fourth and final thing that can happen in the Seymour headline mistake is not having a hesitation or like a roadblock that women in our city are saying in their brain, which is why they're not going with another solution, or what's stopping them from going for another solution to move away from the negative and get the positive, or a hesitation or roadblock that is stopping them from going with other boudoir photographers in our city. It's also kind of like an objection. So we're missing that, which means we're missing the negative, the positive, and the hesitation / roadblock. So we're missing the triangle of tension, which is the best weapon against competitors. Having a who, a self-label plus the triangle of tension. That's the best way to be super specific to the women in our market, be seen as a market of one, our only option for women that are want to get away from this negative and get this positive and not deal with this challenge or roadblock. So yeah, we're missing a lot of women here. So we're actually really gonna waste a lot of money. Our ads are gonna kind of spin their wheels, not be able to like catch meta ad algorithm and get to the right cluster of women and probably just burn out, um, which would probably lead to you needing to refresh this ad pretty quick. Oh, here we go. Makes the perfect newlywed gift to your significant other. That's a positive, but it's after the see more. Nobody sees it until they click see more. And guess what? Your people clicking on the see more. It's probably for you like 4 out of 100, 3 or 4 out of 100. Um, so if you had moved this up to the see more headline, aka before the see more, 100 out of 100 would see it, but because it's after, only 3 or 4 out of 100 are seeing it. Yeah, so that's got to be moved up. I didn't even read this yet, which is why I said, a positive could be like get a gift for a husband, or gift to give to husband, something like that. So you do got positive here, but 4 out of 100, 3 out of 100 people are seeing this instead of 100 out of 100 people. So that's definitely a mistake. All right, so those are all the mistakes that can happen with the see more headlines. So we've gone through mistakes 1 through 5 for the ad already. And the next 3 mistakes can happen through the rest of the ad copy. So you can think of the see more headline up above as like hook 1. Get them hooked in to click see more. And then hook 2 is basically we need something that gives people a reason to keep reading after we've hooked them in with being super specific to the conversation going in their mind, but then the who and the negative, the positive, and the hesitation / roadblock of the see more headline. But now we need a hook 2, which is we use an authority hook. So a reason why the women should listen to us and continue reading through the rest of our ad copy. So we're missing that here. You can see I did this authority hook at the beginning of this video showing my results of improving Boudoir ads, getting them to 2 to 4x on the volume of people coming through, and those people are more specific. So in general, higher conversion on those people, as well as 2 to 4xing the volume that are engaging and reading the ad copy of the ad. So authority hook here. Oh, it's interesting. You said give it to them the night before. Okay, yeah, that's a cool way. But missing the authority hook, so we're gonna have less people reading through the ad copy, although yours is short. But we're gonna have less people get pre-qualified before they click. So we're gonna have less qualified people clicking. There's gonna be less conversion rate of our ad, which means our ad's gonna go to lower quality people who off rip have a lower conversion rate, and they're gonna convert even lower. So kind of just our ads entering the spiral, the downward spiral of despair just from the start. The next part we want to have in the body is a story / narrative where we describe a woman's life, kind of like a movie scene, as if we were recording with a third-party camera what's happening, so that we can empathize with their current situation. And we're missing that, and we kind of think of it like this 1-2 punch sort of way. Whereas the see more headline up top here is the first punch, which is that conversation right in their brain, and then punch 2 is the meeting them where they're at, or like describing their situation in their life, where they're currently at, and what's currently happening in their current situation. That's that 1-2 punch of like we go from specificity to super specificity, where they're like, oh my god, they're talking about the conversation in my brain, and they're actually describing what I'm going through right now. I got to keep reading whatever they got going on. This seems to be exactly for me. And yeah, what's interesting about marketing is people actually have to be told a product is exactly for them and their situation, rather than just, do you want solution? Buy solution here. No, we actually got to get way more advanced, which we all have to learn on the journey. So we're missing the story narrative. People are not getting pre-qualified. People are not feeling it's fully for them. Although if we get a good see more headline, that could drive an increase in results alone. but it's got to be in tandem with a good story slash narrative that is relevant and relatable. So yeah, less people getting pre-qualified, less people feeling like it's for them, more people skipping the ad or they're clicking but they're less qualified, so kind of a waste of time to talk to them. Um, and the third and final mistake that can happen with the body copy is not having our full offer here. So we always want to use the ad to expose as many people to our offer as possible. That's the mission we're using for these ads. So we got to talk more about how long it takes. Does that have hair and makeup? How many photos do they get? What's the cost? What's the session fee? What's an average investment? Um, yeah, so we're missing that here, um, which enables people to get pre-qualified. Enables the Meta AI ads text scanner to read the text and send our ads to the right cluster of women who have been saying the keywords in our ads in their conversations because Facebook microphone, Facebook app microphone is always listening. I think even if we shut it off. So that's how it knows who to send our ads to. So yeah, we're totally missing a full offer here, which honestly, if no full offer, the ad shouldn't even be run, honestly. Um, it's just there's too many variables and not having a full offer here makes it is you know a DM rate, it's 1 out of 250 people. Um, but if we had the offer in the body copy, um, our so it says telling them the full offer through the DMs, maybe 1 out of every 250 people DM you, and that's when they hear the full offer. If we put in the body copy, we can get 8 out of 100 to see it. So instead of 1 out of 250, that's was that 20 out of 250? Literally like 20x more people exposed to our full offer by just having it in the body copy here instead of telling them once they tell them through DM. And you think if 20 more people know your offer exists, do you think you'll have more sales, same amount of sales, or less sales? I mean, you're probably going to have more sales. So that's why we want to expose as many people to the offer as possible. All right, so that's the end of the 3 mistakes that can happen in the body copy. Now, the final 2 mistakes. Mistake number 9 is looking here at the below creative, the below creative headline, and the button. So we never want to have a below creative headline. We never want to have a button. There's 3 reasons for that. The first one, 5% of the reason for that is ties in with mistake 1. It makes it look more like an ad. Organic posts do not have, organic photo post does not have this stuff underneath. So it ties in with kind of mistake number 1. The second reason, 15%, is if we got more words here, basically as people are scrolling and they're reading, their brain registers kind of this amount when, so they're scrolling through this feed, scrolling through their feed. The brain doesn't actually the brain register that stuff I highlighted when they actually get to here. And they're like, oh, those words were relevant to me, but now they're looking at the words here. And if it's not the same words, if it's incongruent, it triggers the error detection network in their brain, signaling incongruent message, confusing, doesn't make sense, kind of super quick in their subconscious, and they just keep scrolling. Whereas we want them to actually scroll back up. So this description here is just a higher chance of causing problems and like basically no benefit to having it on the ad at all. And reason 3 for this mistake number 9, while having stuff below the creative is always a mistake. It gives people something to click before they've clicked the see more here to read the rest of our body copy and become pre-qualified before ever clicking over. And if it's not for people, it's perfect. Maybe they click to see more, but body copy is not for them, offer is not for them. They don't like the price, they're scrolling by. That's good because Facebook uses link clicks and weighted as deciding which cluster of women to send our ads to. And so we want the right cluster of women to be clicking our ads, not the wrong cluster of women. That's our ads sustain for a much longer time and scale without needing to refresh, you know, turn them off and kind of refresh them with a new idea. And so 80% the reason for this being a mistake is, yeah, enables people to kind of bypass pre-qualifying themselves, which we want them to do. So that's mistake number 9. And mistake 10 is the objective. So I don't know what objective you're using, um, but you're optimizing for DM, or, send message. And that could be the correct objective, but normally when I see people using it, it's the wrong objective. Because right now, Facebook's taking a 6% slice of your whole city, which has the highest probability to, number one, respond to the keywords that are, they respond to keywords in this ad, same as previous ads from other people, and matches kind of what they've said on the mic that the microphone has picked up. And two, I like to DM people, like to click on DM ads. So yeah, they'll click on DM ad to send a message. Nothing, but we're not optimizing. There's no data on their profile for continuing the conversation after, or booking a call, or showing up to the call, or buying anything. So we're not giving our ad the highest probability of going to buyers, people who pay money for stuff. And so that's why I'm guessing you're using engagement. Engagement's always always a mistake to be using as an objective. Sure, you can get messages, kind of like some front end results, but then it's going to turn into, man, these people are pre-qualified. They're ghosting me in the chat, or these people are not very qualified. They're ghosting me in the chat. They're price hunters. They're just looking for price. They ghost once they hear the price. Barely anyone's booking. Nobody has money. But nobody's had money was actually a symptom of all the mistakes I've talked about in these 10 mistakes I've talked about in this video. And so I'll give you half a mistake for that one because you could actually be, maybe you are using the correct objective. I have no idea. So let's add it up and kind of compare to everyone else in the boudoir industry for their boudoir Facebook and Instagram ads. So we got not a mistake, we got not a mistake, then we got 3 mistakes, and then 3 more mistakes, so that's 6, then 7 mistakes for the below creative stuff, and then half a mistake for the objective, so 7.5 out of 10 mistakes, and the boudoir industry average is 8 out of 10 mistakes, so you're actually doing a little bit better than everyone else. So good job by you. I see a lot of people putting text on their photos. Wrong O, looks like an ad. People don't want to be sold. Scroll on by. But you did a good job, no text on this. And most people never put a who there, who in the Seymour headline. So good, you got that as well. Now, if you're having these symptoms I'm talking about, a lot of ghosting, a lot of price hunters, price objections, price ghosters once they hear it, ghosting in the chat, very few bookings, fewer than you want. The reason that for that is you have a broken down boudoir ad. So I classify any boudoir ad that has more than 2 out of 10 mistakes as a broken down boudoir ad, similar to a broken down car. It's not working right. And where do we take a broken down car to get fixed? We take it to a car mechanic. Where do we take our broken down boudoir ads to be fixed? A boudoir ads mechanic. And I do have a boudoir ads mechanic offer to fix these mistakes. So I actually smushed the 10 mistakes into 5 root cause problems. I'll go over now that are, cause ads to be, broken down ads. So first one, does it look like an ad? You don't have that root cause problem. Second one, gotta have a official Seymour headline with the 4 specific attributes: a who, a negative, a positive, and a hesitation/roadblock. So yes, you do. You only have 1 out of 4 of the specific attributes. So Seymour headline is a root cause problem of your ad being broken down. Next is ad copy. You're missing 3 out of 3 parts of that, which also is yes, contributing to your ad being broken down. So that's 2 root cause problems. Gotta switch up this below creative headline and button. Now we can't get rid of the button if you're going to stay with DM optimization, but all right, yeah, we got to clean this up. So that is 3 root cause problems. Get rid of those things, make it look more like an organic post. Then your objective, yeah, I'll give you half a root cause problem for your boudoir being broken down. And that's just because I don't know which objective you're using. So that's 3.5 out of 5 root cause problems, to get this ad back up and running much better. And I got 2 options to solve it. First one is I charge $50 per root cause problem I fix per ad. So you could choose, 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things, or 3.5 things. And the max cost would be $175 for this one ad. And then obviously, yeah, you could take it and put it on your other ads. But option 2 is, a much better value option where I work on, as many ads as you want to do for $100 a month. Both these offers are done for you, so yeah, I'll do everything. $100 a month, as many ads as you want, many fixes as we need to, give these. Well, we can definitely make these much better. I mean, we'll have ads that are like better than 99% of your competitors' ads. And we'll have, the highest chance of bringing in revenue. Much higher chance than this ad. And so, yeah, you got my phone number, got my email, or, DM me, whatever platform we're working on. Tell me you want to, talk more. And then, I'll ask you what you got for me. And all right, yeah, that's everything for now. Adios.